Hey everybody, it's Amari, and in this video I wanted to highlight how I created the center image component for my interactive portfolio. Now essentially what this component is doing is that it's creating a grid based on the width of the user's window, and the grid being created is a 5x5 grid, 5 columns and 5 rows, and in each section of that grid is a image source. So when we move from section to section on the grid, the image source for the center image is dynamically changing to whichever image source is in that section. Now let's jump into the code so I can show you exactly what that means. It's a lot simpler than it sounds. I'm using the getGridPosition function here to really locate where the user is, depending on whether they're using a touch device or have a cursor here, like in this example. I'm getting their x and y coordinates with the math.floor function. And then I'm using this a lot in the center image function. Down here, as you can see, every time the user moves, I'm tracking where they are with the getGridPosition function, getting their x and y coordinates based on the window width and height. And if the user is in the center, it'll check to see if it is clicked. And if it is not clicked, it'll show one image, the original headshot. If it is clicked, it'll change it to the clicked headshot image, and I'll show you that in just a second. But if we aren't in the center, this is where it maps through the grid map I made and show the corresponding image. And that grid map is pretty simple. I have it right here. It's just an array of arrays. And the way I set it up is that the top array here starts at the left-hand side, so it goes from left to right, left column to right column. And I also want to highlight one more thing here. I used use callback here just to make the website a bit more responsive, so we wouldn't have to re-render every time we are updating the headshot, or in this case, moving across the page. Because I implemented it without use callback earlier, and I found that it was just always lacking a bit. And another way that I tried to refactor this after initially making it to improve its performance, because after doing this, I still found it a bit lacking, is that I actually preload an array of image sources into memory to prevent loading delays. And as you can see, it's right here on line 35, preload images. And I found that after I did this alongside the use callback, it really gave me the responsiveness and snappiness that I liked. And yep, we have the function here, and then I'm actually calling it in the use effect right here. So this mounts immediately, and all of the headshots are preloaded to make for a much more seamless interaction. Okay, that's all I wanted to show you for the code. I did say that I would show you the clicked headshot, so here that is. When you hover over right about the center, which is probably my chin and nose area, and you click that, it'll change to the clicked image, which is just a photo of me smiling. And yeah, this is a quick little rundown on how I created the center image component. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.